Hello everybody, this is Christina from Craft Muse, and today we are going to be doing a tutorial for a little Rainbow Loom Bunny rabbit. Yay, I'm finally getting around to it. I kind of put this project off for a while because I wanted to make some adjustments to my original first go at the rabbit, I guess. Let me show you what he looks like. Let me get out of my squeaky little chair here. And reach up. Sorry, he's like way over here. Okay, so this is the little bunny that I made. I wasn't really happy with the way he came out. I want to attach the ears a little bit differently so that they're not like flopping down like that. So we can remedy that. And then I made his, in my notes, I'm going to make his face a little bit shorter, and his arms are going to be a little bit skinnier, and his legs are just going to be placed differently, and maybe a smaller nose. But other than that, this is pretty much what we're going to be making today. And this video is going to be in different parts. I'm not sure how many exactly, but it is a very time-consuming project because we have to add his little furs while we're looming. And if you've made Courtney Nicole's from How to Loom Your Dragon, if you've made her poodle, you know that this part takes a long time and a lot of bands. So I'm not sure exactly how many bands this is going to take because I just dumped a bunch of white bands in a gallon Ziploc bag and just went at it. So I'm doing a count this time with my pink bands, and because I'm going to be making a pink bunny because I have a lot of pink bands. So I'm taking count this time, and I'll have a band count in the description box below. So today, this first video, we are going to work on the ears, and then we'll do the arms and the legs, and then we'll start with the body. So let's get started on him. So what you're going to need is your bands, your body color bands. That's the majority of it. I used a little bit of pink here for the inner ear and then for the nose, and then I used the pony beads, the 9mm regular pony beads, for the eyes. So you can use that, or you can use wrap bands, or you can use even the smaller pony beads would work, or buttons. It's up to you. And then I did use some polyfil inside. I don't think it's absolutely necessary to add the polyfil because he is double banded, so he will hold his shape very well. But I just did it just because, just to fill him up a little bit. So that's what we're going to be working on today, and this is how you're going to need your loom set up for the ears. This is the only part that we're really going to need 5 bar pins for, just for the ears. The rest of it is just going to be one loom with just the 2 pegs. With just the 2 pin bars. So if you could have your loom set up like this, you've got your center pin, the highest point, and then you've got your 2 pins next to it, 1 peg lower, and then the last 2 over here, 1 peg lower. So it's in an arrow shape, and you've got the openings facing towards you. So let's get started. I've got my top secret confidential field notes. I've got my hook, I've got my bands, and I've got my gaudy nails. All right, and I've had my caffeine this morning, so that should help a little bit. Okay, so we're going to start off with our outer ear. So let me just open my jar of pink bands. I've already made one of my legs and one of my arms. Put that aside. Okay, so let's start. And this is going to be a little bit slow going because we are going to have to add wrap bands to each band that we place onto the loom. So bear with me. This project does take a little bit of patience. Actually, a lot of patience, but you guys will be fine. He's really cute, and I hope he turns out even cuter with the adjustments that I made. Okay, so for outer ear, let us begin. So this whole project, unless I say otherwise, is made with 2 bands. So unless we're doing like double loop bands, but I think for the outer ear, it's all just 2 bands each. So when we layer bands, the first thing you want to do is take your 2 bands, wrap them around your hook one time, and this is what we need to do for each band that we lay on. So grab your next 2 bands, place it on your hook, and move that over into the center, and then place it onto your loom. Whoops, hold on. Oh, we're already starting off wrong. Okay, so you want to do a long stretch. So from your first pin all the way down to here. So you want to skip that one and just go diagonal like that. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm wrapping around. Slide it on and place onto your loom. Okay, so our next placement, we want to take from this pin here down to this pin here, so the 3rd pin on your furthest left. I might be slower at this than you because it's kind of awkward filming this, but so I did another long stretch. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So from here to here. And just push your bands down. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is go down on each side. Let's see how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we want to do 8. We want to go down 8 times. What's that white band doing there? So again, we need to do our hair. And this will give him the little fluffy look. So I'm just going to go down 8 times on the left, and then I'm going to go down 8 times on the right. Ugh, oh my goodness. Why am I having so many difficulties right now? Maybe I had too much caffeine. So that's 3. This will be my 4th. My 5th. My 6th. Here's my 7th. And then one more. Okay, so we've gone down 8 times on my left side, and then I'm going to go down 8 times on this side here. So if you guys have not purchased these extenders, and if you do a lot of loom work requiring more than one loom, I would highly suggest that you get these because they're awesome. As you can see, I just have these 2 extensions on my, holding my 2 looms together, and that's all I need. And it's stable, and it's not going to fall apart or sink in. Sometimes you run across the problem of your, once you start placing your holding bands and all that stuff, you run into the problem of your your bars sinking in to one another, and then you have to like loom really quickly and hope that the whole thing doesn't fall apart. So these are a way to get around that, and I think it's really awesome. So I just have these 2 here that I got in the Deluxe Rainbow Loom Kit, and I love them. I need to get more. I just haven't been doing a lot of loom designs lately, just because they take longer to design and they take longer to film. So, but I really do want to make more because I enjoy working on the loom. I enjoy doing loomigurumi and on the loom work. Okay, so I'm going to go down one more time on my right. Okay, so now what we want to do is go put one band diagonal and then one band diagonal again. So we're going to go down twice diagonally on both sides. So from this pin to this pin. Oh wait, you can't even see, I'm sorry. I just went diagonally, so from my 8th band here, I just went from this pin to this pin. I'm sorry about that. I forgot that my camera is not catching my entire loom because I didn't want to be too zoomed out and too far away. Okay, so I just went down diagonally again, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'll go here to here and then here to here. So basically we're just closing this up. That. And there's that. So now what we want to do is just fill in this whole thing here. So all of our empty spaces, we just want to fill in with bands with the wrap bands on them. The only part we don't have to add wrap bands to is the inner ear. It's the only time we get a break. I think I made a Rainbow Loom Fox a few months ago, and it was probably, say, maybe 3 or 4 times the size of this rabbit. And so it took forever. I didn't use, I didn't double loop, make cap bands for the fur. I just laid the bands, on as they were to make it, a little more furry because it was a bigger design. But it was still very time consuming. But I loved it, and I think I want to make a tutorial for a smaller one because the larger one that I made required 18 pegs, and so I had to use one of those knitting looms to make him, and not everybody has one of those, so and I'm sorry if my hands are getting in the way while I'm doing this. All I'm doing is just filling in the gaps. Maybe I should put my bands on the other side. Where's my brain today? I'm filming during the daytime, and it's very quiet in my house, but occasionally you will hear outdoor noise and my squeaky chair. My squeaky chair, he has character. my gosh, it is so like hard to film at night while my kids and my husband especially, while they're still awake, because my husband, the other night I was filming a tutorial and thank goodness I had it paused because I was working on like I think maybe like a fourth foot or something for one of my tsum that I was making, and he came up behind me and made like, on his phone he had like a fart sound effect, and like all of a sudden I heard that and it scared me like so bad. I jumped and I got so angry because he thought I was still filming and he thought it was so funny to add a fart sound effect into my video. And I have to watch him closely while he edits my videos because I know he really wants to add like sound effects like randomly into my videos. So that's men for you. He's like almost 30 and he still thinks farts are funny, which they are, but that's what it's like to live with all boys in your house. I think it's funny while I'm filming tutorials, I feel like I'm talking to myself, which I, at the moment am. But I definitely feel more comfortable doing it when nobody's around. Because, I don't know, it's just kind of, I don't know, you're telling stories to like yourself right now. Until you upload the video, then other people will hear your stories, but I don't even know if you guys want to hear stories. I mean, you guys could be like, just be quiet and do your lemming. Let us work in silence. So I hope this project comes out a little bit better than my Dumbo. I know I had some problems with that one. One, because of the bands I was using were very waxy, and two, after I filmed the tutorial I noticed that I missed one row on the body. So he did come out a little bit short and I wasn't exactly happy with how he came out, but your guys' little Dumbos that you've made look adorable, so I guess it couldn't have been that bad. But I do hope this one turns out better, and this is my second time filming an on the loom tutorial, so I think it should go a little bit better. Alright, so you're almost there. And this is just one ear. Of course, you need to make two. And I still need to make two. But, so we've got all of this filled in. And so this is what you should have. And so we need to place our holding bands on. So our first holding band, we're going to be placing up here. And we're just going to take our one band and we're going to double loop it and place it on this first triangle area there. Our next one is going to go here. We can just take double bands for now. Just put it in that triangle area there. And then we're going to take two more bands. Triangle there. Triangle underneath. Next one goes here. Here, and these are all double bands right here. Here, here. Yeah. Here. And here. Now let's do this other side here. So I'm just going down the line. Okay, and then we need to do a capping band on this pin here. So I'm going to take one single band and I'm going to wrap it around 3 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, and well, I mean, you could say 4. It's up to you. I know some people are like, no, it's not 4, it's 3, and so on and so forth. So now we can start looming. So we're going to go in through our capping band. Squeaky chair. We're going to grab our top 2 bands, which if you laid it the same way I did, it will be the ones that go into the center. So just loom those up. Now we're going to loom these ones because these are the next one that's on top. So go in through your capping band and loom those over. Go in through your capping band and grab the ones that go over to the left. We can loom all the way up to the center. So just go in through and make sure you're going in front of your holding bands. And sometimes these little furry pieces want to get in the way. Just make sure you don't accidentally loom those. So I'm just looming all the way up to the top. Okay, so our next one, we can start with this side. And we'll just go in and grab our ones that go straight up. Then we can go back in there and grab the ones that go off to the side. I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. So I'm just grabbing the ones that go up. And now I'm going to go back in and grab the ones that go to the left. Okay, and now we can just loom. I'm going to loom the sides first. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one here and loom out that long stretch there. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to do this side now. So go all the way to the bottom and grab your bands and just loom up. Some very simple looming here. This whole project is pretty simple. It's just takes time. So I'm looming up there. Now I'm going to go back to these 2 here. So I'll start with this one. Just loom these up. Uh-oh, see I grabbed some fur there. Ah, I keep grabbing fur. Okay, and then I'm just going to take this one, go all the way down, and grab the ones that go into the center there. And then I'm going to finish off with this row here. These 2 rows are where your fur is going to want to be included. So you have to make sure you push that back. And go in and grab this one that goes all the way over here. So we're finished looming that, and now we're just going to take 2 pink bands or whatever color you're using, stick it in through all your bands in on this peg here, and then bring up your 2 bands and tie a slip knot. And then we can just take it off the loom. Carefully. Okay, so there's one ear. Got a little fur, and you can actually just fix these up later. I'm not going to do it on the camera, but I mean, if you want to even out the little furs a little bit, you can do that later when we, you know, make his little adjustments at the end. So there's one. You need to make 2 of these. So if you want to make another one, go ahead and pause the video and then come back and we'll make the inner ear. Alright, so welcome back, and you should have finished your 2 ears. And so now we need to work on our inner ears, and again we're going to need to make 2 of these, and this is where you want to use a different color from your pink or your white. I keep saying pink. I know most of you probably aren't making a pink bunny, but I'm using the fuchsia from Rainbow Loom for my inner ear and for my nose. So we still have our loom just set up like this, although we're not going to be using all 5 pins. So we're going to start in the center, and this time we don't need to make a little fur, so this should go by a little bit quicker. So we're going to go from our first pin and do a long stretch down, just like that. Do the same thing on the other side, just like that. And then we're going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 8 times. Sorry, my notes are written out like so tiny, because that little field note book is teeny tiny. So there's 1, and again you're using 2 bands for each of these. So I'm just going down, there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oops, 7, 8. I'm going to do the same thing on this side here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1 more, 8. And then now we just need to do diagonal into the center on both sides. So there's 1, and this one here. And then we just need to fill in the center, so we're just going to go down, straight down with our bands, and again, still 2. think I'm gonna make like a bow for this bear, not bear, for this bunny for the tutorial. So you can either add it to its hair or head or its little neck. Let me get a boy or a girl. Just to give it like something. It's kind of plain right now. Okay, so that's what we've got. Now we need to add our holding bands. See, I can't remember if I did. Yeah, I just did 2 bands here. I'm just gonna go down the line with our little triangles here. And one more down here. Just gonna push these down a little bit, and then we want to add a capping band. So we'll wrap this around 1, 2, 3, or 4 times, whatever you guys prefer. And then we can loom up. So I'm just gonna go in through my capping band, grab my top 2, and I'm actually just gonna loom all the way up. Okay, let's go back down here. Next band is going to go up to the right. Next one is going to go to the left, so I'm going back in through there, grabbing the band that goes to the left. And then I'm just going to loom both of these sides up. So start with the left, doesn't matter which side you start with. Okay, I'm going to go back to the other side. And up. Alright, so this is the finished loomed thingy. And now we'll take 2 of our pink bands, or whatever color, I'll say body color if I can remember. And then bring them through the very top to tie a slip knot. So I'm using body color to tie this off. And then we can just take it off our loom. Alright, so there's your inner ear piece. So you need to make 2 of these, and then come back and then I'll show you how to attach it to your outer ear. Alright, so you should have made your 2 outer ears and your 2 inner ears, and now we are going to be attaching the inner ear to the outer ear. And if you've done the Dumbo tutorial, it's going to be kind of the same idea of how we attach it. So what you want to do is take one ear, and the part that we tied off is going to be the tip of the ear, so that's going to be the top, and then this area is going to be the bottom, and the same thing with your inner ear. The tying off band is going to be at the top, and this will be the bottom. So you want to place it onto your ear, so just kind of line it up with the tying off bands. And you're not going to do anything with those right now, so just kind of move those out of the way if you can. Okay, so now what we want to do is We're going to be going through the back loops only of our very last stitches. So our very last row, wait, hold on. Yeah, so this is our last row right here on each side. We want to go through the stitches that are on the outside. So you got 2. You don't want to go through the entire stitch like that to where you have 4 bands on your hook. You just want to go through the outside 2 for each one. So you'll just go down the line and go through the outside 2 while we're attaching this. So my very first one that I'm going to go through is actually one of the ones that is tied off where we ended our ear. So I'm going to go through the top loop, the outside loop only. So I only have 2 bands on my hook right now. And then I'm going to find the pink ones, or the body color ones, that are right next to it. And I'm just going to go through those stitches. I'm going to take 2 body color bands. I'm going to pull it through all of the bands that were on my hook and reclaim the other end onto my hook. So now I have these 2 bands, or 4 bands actually. Well, it's 2 bands, but it looks like 4. So I've got these loops on my hook. Now what I want to do is slide this loop over, underneath this band. So I'm just going to go like that. Kind of like I'm creating a slip knot. Alright, so our next one down, I'm going to go through the outside 2 only, and then I'm going to go through the pink stitch right next to it. I'm going to take 2 more body color bands. I'm only pulling them through the ear bands and the inner ear bands. I'm just like that. I still have the loops that are on my hook from our last slip knotty thing that we just did. And I'm going to put that onto my hook. So now I have 3 sets of bands on my hook. I'm going to take this one and slide them underneath these 2. So just like that. So I'm left with just this one set of bands here. Now I'm going to go through the next stitch, the outside one only, going through the next stitch right beneath it, right next to it in the ear. I'm going to take 2 more bands of my body color. Now again, I'm only going to slide it through my outer ear and my inner ear and leave these 2 bands alone. Whoops, this one broke. Or that one's just really long. Okay, whatever. So again, I'm just sliding it through these 2 sets of bands and then put it onto my hook. And again, I have the 3 sets onto my hook. I'm going to slide this one under these 2. Just like that. Okay, so I'll do my next set. So I've got my 2 outside bands. Then I'm going to go in through the next stitch down on my outer ear. Taking 2 body color bands, sliding them through my ear bands only and my inner ear bands, claiming onto my hook and sliding these under here. So we're going to just do that all the way around till we get to the top again. And doing it this way just gives your ears a little bit more dimension. So So when you get to the bottom where you have your capping band in your inner ear, you're just going to go through your capping band and then the capping band in the outer ear and just use those as stitches. So that's what mine looks like so far, and I'm still just going to continue around. Just want to make sure I'm not missing any. Even if you do, it's not going to make that big of a difference. Pieces of my gaudy nails falling off. I would have taken it off before I filmed this, but I hate taking off glitter nail polish. I need to get some of that special glitter polish remover. And that is a helicopter in the background. I live in San Diego and there's constantly jets and planes and helicopters. I've grown used to it. Okay, so I'm at the top, just gonna keep going till I meet around to where I started. Oops. Okay, so I finished at the top here, and now I am going to just go across into an area right by my first stitch that I started. And then I'm gonna just tie that off with a slip knot with 2 bands just to close it up. And then we can hide these tying off bands into the ear. So I just go somewhere like in the center and just pull it through. There should be 3 of them that we need to pull through. So 1 from the inner ear, 1 from the outer ear, you might need to go in through the back for the outer ear one, just so you can kind of tuck that little knot in. And then 1 from the where we just tied off. Okay, and then give him a little stretch. Alright, so we have one ear finished. And then you just need to do the same exact thing with your second ear. And they can both be the same. They don't have to be symmetrical. And when you guys are finished with that, then we can start on our arms for this little guy or gal. Alright, so I'll see you guys when you're finished.